Well, doesn't that feel good? I think we can just wrap this up and go on home or go on out on this beautiful day. But because this is the time of year when so many of us are planning our getaways from our day-to-days, today we'll continue with our travel theme. As it's been mentioned, the title of today's talk is The Only Journey is Within. Now, A Course in Miracles tells us that is a journey without distance. But that doesn't stop us from trying to get there, trying to inspire ourselves from the outside in. It seems this time of year there is a collective restlessness that we feel and we interpret as physical. And so we try to take our body here and take our body there to try to find some peace within it somewhere. So if you're feeling a little restless, we all might want to ask ourselves, what am I seeking to find elsewhere? Maybe not in another place, but at another time, that I don't believe that I can find within myself. Right here, right now, or wherever I am, if I choose to look for its presence within me. Often when we can't find a way to get away, when our life seems too busy or too heavy or too confining or just too crazy, it seems our body is going through the motions, but there's nobody home. Not in our mind. We've mentally escaped to somewhere else, some better place that we remember from the past or that we anticipate we'll find in the future. For example, I was at the car dealership last Wednesday purchasing my leased vehicle that I've had for 3 years. And as I was waiting for the manager, who was very friendly, to get all the papers together, and there were a lot of them, seemingly out of the blue, this very dedicated, seemingly present person got this wistful look in his eye. And he started telling me about how he and his wife love to go to Tennessee each year. And I had to ask, since I'd just done Camp Wannabe, to go camping? And he said, well, we rent a cabin or a condo. And the moment we get there, my sinuses clear up and I feel so good. And the minute we get back, my sinuses start up again and I feel miserable. And I wanted to say, or I thought I might say, there's a good talk on our LEC website that might be helpful. But instead, I just decided to ask him if there might be something in his day-to-day life that caused him to feel better someplace else. And after staring at me like I was a little crazy, he said, well, I'll look into that. And I hope he does. But so often, even though we know that something in our life is calling for a change, we don't want to take a look at what that might be. Because it might cause us to want something in our life that we don't believe we can have. Whether it's more money or greater health more companionship, more freedom, more peace of mind. And so we don't want to take a look. But Abraham Hicks tells us, believe in what you want so much that it has no choice but to manifest. It's never asking too much. And it's never too late for us to live a life day to day that brings us happiness, because we live in a universe that responds to us and wants us to be as happy as we want to be. If we're willing to take time each day before our day actually gets going and we get distracted by all the busyness, if we were to take time each day to journey within ourselves and allow our spirit to rise to a place where we're happy in that moment for no reason at all, no matter what, we'd be right where we need to be vibrationally, to bring into our physical experience the happy life that we want. Abraham Hicks goes on to tell us that it is not your job to make anything happen. Universal forces are in place for all of that. You're not manifesting. You're creating an environment within you that allows the manifestation. Everything we want, everything we desire, that we believe will make us happy out here is already available to us. But we need to rise to meet it, to be the happy we're looking for. And that allows happiness to come. There's no work, no effort, no struggle, no sacrifice, just a willingness to be happy on the inside that creates an atmosphere and an environment for happy people and events to come into our day-to-day life in a manifested, physical, recognizable way. Now, as we considered last Sunday, there's nothing in our surroundings anywhere that can permanently change us from the outside in. The poet Rumi wrote, "Know then that the body is merely a garment. Go seek the wearer, not the cloak." We can take the cloak, our body, here and there, with the intention of finding peace, but it's only as we journey within that we find a peace that requires nothing to be peace in us. Doesn't require different surroundings. It doesn't require silence. It's just there. And it's for us, and we can access it no matter where we are. The journey within is the only journey that matters to us, that will make a difference to us spiritually. It's the only place that we can find the fullness that belongs to us that nothing in this world can take away. The journey within is like going on vacation, but unlike a vacation that benefits us temporarily, it permanently uplifts us and creates lasting change in the way that we live our day-to-day life. It's a lot like going camping. We get away from it all and find a place that's still and beautiful and calm, but without having to pack bug spray or anything else for the journey. Physically, we can go only so deep, no matter where we go. But spiritually, there are no limits to what we can discover about ourselves and life and live it now. In the book of Luke, we read, "Neither will they say, 'Behold, it is here,' or 'Behold, it is there,' for behold, the kingdom of God is within you." Right now, in this very moment, each of us has within us the kingdom of God. Every moment, right where we are, there is the peace and joy and love of the spiritual truth living in us. Right where we are. No matter how small our physical body may appear, is an inner self that is one with God and all there is. The spiritual teacher Mooji said, "You have to see and meet God in this life. Don't let this life go by and miss discovering the Supreme One. You'll find Him inside as your constant being." To live as if our options for joy in this earth life are limited to our physical surroundings is like looking in the mirror and believing we're limited to what we see in the mirror, our own reflection and whatever else the mirror might be reflecting. When we focus solely upon this physical world as if it's outside of us, and we can do nothing to change our perception of it, it's like looking in the mirror and not liking our hair or our clothes or something else about ourselves. Something that the mirror is reflecting there and believing that there's nothing we can do about it, or trying to fix the mirror. But we all know that the mirror is there solely to reflect our image so that we can see if there's something that we want to change. And we don't expect the mirror to do it. Wally Famous Amos said, "Life is just a mirror. And what you see out there, you must first see inside of you. The world we see is a reflection of the thoughts that we focus on in our mind." Whatever we're focusing on, the mirror of our life reflects back to us so that we can see, so that we can enjoy our perceptions or we can change our thinking. We can change what we don't like by changing how we think, not by waiting for what we see to change. If we were to live our day-to-day life with the awareness that everything we experience in this world as our life is changeable within us, we'd stop arguing with the mirror and we'd do something about it. We'd look within ourselves for the inspiration and for the courage and for the strength and for the direction that would guide us on how we can change our life that we experience around us. It's been said you cannot see a reflection in boiling water. Similarly, you cannot see the truth in a state of anger. And we can't see the truth in a state of stress or anxiety or worry or defensiveness or restlessness. It's only when the waters are calm that clarity comes. It's only when the mirror is clear and reflecting back to us the truth about us, so that we can change what we no longer want to experience in our life. There is no mirror big enough, no physical world full enough to reflect the infinite life that lives within us. Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Are we going to let this life go by without finding the true spiritual being living within us, as us right now? Right now. It's not going to drop in tomorrow. It's within us right now. Our constant being, our divine self, the only one that is able to meet God in everything and everyone we see. Are we going to settle for just being satisfied to find some place in this world where we can go from time to time that'll temporarily clear up our metaphorical sinuses so that we remember, if only for a week or two, that how good it feels to feel good? Or are we willing to find that place within us, that happy place we can go to every day and every moment of every day and take with us wherever we go and experience it wherever we are? Alan Watts, the beautiful spiritual teacher, wrote, "Man suffers uniquely because he takes seriously what the gods have created for fun." Are we having fun yet? Or are we postponing our fun for another time or another place? Are we grateful we're alive every day, like the song was saying? Do we look at all the things there are to be grateful for? Or are we waiting for a lake or a cabin or a clear view of a starlit night? We're created to feel good all the time. Spirituality isn't a destination we find from time to time. It's our true nature that we are free to live all the time. We are so vast and unlimited within us that we'll never reach the end of our spiritual journey. but we're not created for an ending. We're created for an endless adventure of joyous extension and expansion and discovery. In order for we humans to get along, to interact with each other here on earth in a healthy way, in a harmonious way, in a loving way, it's essential for each of us to dissolve our sense of a life as being outside of us and separate from the life within us. Rather than searching for an isolated, peaceful place in this world that we can go and find some peace, if we're willing to take a journey within us that takes us away from the appearances of the world and away from the appearances that we don't want in our day-to-day life, we'll find that all we need for happiness, all we need for peacefulness, all we need to feel love is already within us. The poet Rumi wrote, "There is a life force within your soul. Seek that life. There is a gem in the mountain of your body. Seek that mine, O traveler. If you are in search of that, don't look outside. Look inside yourself and seek that." Namaste.